Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, where I have set up another array of generators. This is another 60 generator array with, what is this, 48 smelters, a whole load of miners, and of course a large buffer. We aren't using the power right now, but when we do have our research going on and our production of cubes, we need this. And we really do need it. We were diving before, so now we have that set up. Anyway, today we're going to be working on graphene, and if we are lucky, we might even get around to reinforced titanium beams. So, let's go fly over to graphene. Do-do-do-do. Righto. We're going to need sulfuric acid for this. And we're going to need a lot of graphite, which kind of sucks, because it's going to be tough getting enough. But we are going to need 3 Mark 1 belts of graphite, which I guess we'll just use a Mark 2 belt. We'll need half a Mark 1 belt of sulfur, and this will give us full belt of graphite. Okay. So I guess the first thing is to find out where there is a good source of coal nearby. Nowhere. I guess over here. I mean, we could just pump in, like, graphite over to this area. We could do our graphene production over here. We'll have to pump the sulfuric acid all the way over, but that's fine. We'll have to fill in the sea. That's, again, fine. Yeah, there's a nice area here for graphite production. Graphene production. Both. Whatever. So, we'll do that. By the way, you might have noticed, why is Icarus blue? I'm running a couple of mods right now. Nothing game-changing, but some quality-of-life mods. I have done a couple of videos on them. I think the videos are already out, in which case, go check those out, because they're so useful. So, first things first, I'm actually going to use my Mark II belt in case you want to be able to split off this at a later date. And we will run it up to here. We're going to need to go over and down again. And then over. And I think we're going to stay up because we're going to need to cross. Yeah. Ugh. There we go. And then I think we'll give it a 1 space so that it's like kind of obvious that this isn't attached to the rest of this. And we'll bring sulfuric acid all the way over. Also, we'll fly over here so that our drones can finish this off. Come on, drones, do your thing. Now, one research that I've done in the meantime is the high-strength titanium alloy, which is what we're going to be working on after graphite if we get the time. This, again, uses sulfuric acid, so I'm kind of planning ahead with the extra amount of sulfuric acid we're pumping. Now, bear in mind, we're actually pumping out twice the rate we're pumping in right now. Obviously, we're not going to be using this belt. We're going to be using a quarter of this belt for graphite. Graphene. Damn it. You're just so similar. Right. Okay, drones. You're good. Do-do-do-do. Now, we're going to need 18 smelters, which means we need 32.8, apparently, graphite nodes. And we want to be able to get 18 coal per second. Now, I'm going to quickly flatten this area. Luckily, I've got plenty of soil. We'll get some soil from that nice flat hill now. There we go. We could maybe use this. Now, you'll notice, by the way, that it says miners max output here. That's another one of my mods. It makes it so much simpler. We need this to be able to be an 18, so let's go use this new pile of ore. Rotate you around. And then, bam, that's 3.9. Oh, that's obviously not enough. Okay, 8.8. We get that last. I think we can. There we go. Pixel hunting, 12.7. We need us to hit 18. So I think if we get like a nice couple of last miners in. Really? 17.1? So close to 18. To be fair, we might need graphite for more stuff, so we can always over-spec this and then just use the rest of the line later on. That's probably best actually spent by doing something here. Let's just place all of the miners we can to get the max amount of this deposit. We're going to go through this deposit so quickly. And then we'll also... we get like an extra one in there. 31.9. Okay, with a couple of upgrades, that will be a pretty big belt worth. Now, obviously we don't need all of this, but we're going to try and hook this up just real simply. We need 1.5 belts Mark II, so this is going to be funky. Figuring out the splitter of this is... what's the easiest way? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With an output that will fill 2 and a bit belts. And that'll go to 3 eventually. So the easiest way to do this is using what I call a matrix. I don't know. There's probably like someone's come up with better terms and better like setups for this. But I tend to call this a matrix. So what a matrix is you take... let's say these 3 here. 1, 2. Oh, really? There we go. Thank you. 3. And then we feed it into a setup where every belt can kind of attach and equalize between them. So we'll want 1, 2, 3. And then we'll need this for every additional belt, which I believe is 5. And then doop, 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 doop. Now, this is kind of like a resource-intensive approach. There's almost definitely simpler ways of doing this. But this should balance out to 3 belts, kind of regardless of what we do. And then we need to have them connect like that across the top. This is definitely planning for the future. We only need half of this. And we're only inputting, what, 2.5 belts? Not the full 3, but when we get a couple of resource upgrades for how fast we produce stuff, that will change. Okay, now, the key thing here is going to be make sure that these are prioritized as that's the input. So always make sure that we are inputting as a priority from existing lines. We got to go through all of these. This is the one thing it isn't really sped up by mods or anything. Good old fashioned clicking. There we go. Then we just got to feed everything in. So I guess... You can come around here. Actually, we'll leave some... Actually, no, we won't leave some space. That's not going to work. Right. What am I talking about? Stay high. And then go one more, and then feed in there. Okay. Next. You. Come on. There we go. Feed in there. Next. We can probably make this work this way around. There we go. Ah, damn. Tried my luck just a little bit too much with that one. And then in there. And then in... Oh, whoops. Couldn't see from that angle. That is definitely the wrong height. There we go. And all we got to do is bring you around. And that should equalize all our outputs. Now let's make sure we've got power here. There we go. And we'll pump the power in from over this direction. Now, because that's 3 rows, we're going to need each row having 24 smelters. Really? Yeah, because it's 12 per second and they take... No, 12 smelters each. It's 24 per second. They take 2 to make a graphite. And we're only using half of this, so we actually need the 18 smelters to begin with. But again, planning for the future, why not? All it'll do is just fill up, so... We never really need coal for anything. It's always smelters. So we need 36 smelters. I don't know why I'm clicking through looking for them. They're right here. Now, gonna... flatten that a little bit. Let's see. How do I want to set this up? Well, since we've got a lot of space, we'll probably something like that. And then smelter, gap, smelter, gap, smelter. Okay, and then that's going to be in, that's out. That could be out as well, honestly. And that could be... no, it needs to have an in here. Okay, so this is in. This is equally in. This is out, and that's out. Oh, no, this doesn't work because we're not doing back-to-back smelters. There. Okay. Well, that's out. This is in. And then we need a gap of 2. That's in. And this is out. Do we want our outs to go this way? Yeah, sure, why not? So 1 out. 2 out. Whoops. Oh god, I got that the wrong way around, haven't I? Two out. 2 outs. There we go. Sometimes it takes a while to click that. Why? And I am lacking these. Do we have enough to make more? Yes, but we'd have to make those damn turbines. Let's just go have a little jaunt to our production facility. Do. Over here. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then honestly, let's make loads. Okay, let's go fly back. Do. And boink. I have some really good shock absorbers, don't I? Right, okay. This is gonna be honestly in out. Thinking about it, let's use Mark IIs for this, just because we can. Bam, bam, bam. And I know I could have set this up with a single output and a second output, but lazy. Now, what I want to do here is something that is made possible thanks to another mod I'm running, which is that we can just copy. Do the output first. Copy and place, and in theory, if my drones will come back. Come on, drones. It will copy the sorters. Yes! Okay, and I'm going to place 3 at a time, then space. So that we have power. There we go. Thing of beauty. Makes it so much simpler. I don't have to place every damn sorter. Again, if you want to learn about that mod, there will be a video on it that you can go check out. There we go. And then just stick some power poles in. And we should be basically up and running. Does that not quite get the end one? There we go. Obviously, that's going to need power, so... Ding! Beautiful. Right. Would you like some coal to make some graphite with? There we go. There we go. And all of them should be running now. Now, we need a belt and a half of Mark 1s, which means we need a belt of Mark 2. Each of these is actually only, I believe, a Mark 1 belt, not a Mark 2 belt. I'm using Mark 2s for some reason. I don't know why. We can't downgrade. You can only upgrade. Okay. Well, what we'll probably do is have them all kind of come up here so that we can merge them together nice and easily. So we'll have that one go to there. And then we'll have you go up a level, across. Down a level. Up a level. This is actually going to get slightly weird. Cross. Back. Come on. Oh, that was fine. Whatever. Back. Back. There we go. And that is 3 Mark 1 belts. What we could do is balancing the outputs. In theory, the outputs should all be the same. So the question is whether we really care. Probably not. The outputs should all be the same. Right. We need a belt and a half of this. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to just have them merge. I'll use a proper merging system. And go in there. You go in there. We're going to pull our Mark II belt at the top. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because if we want to, because this is only a belt and a half we need, so there's actually half a belt spare here, is that this half belt spare could go with this, and we could have 2 Mark II belts that aren't full. Anyway, so with that done, we've got sulfuric acid. We need to bring the sulfuric acid to here. We've got the graphite there. Let's actually bring the graphite over. Okay. So, graphene is really, really simple. We just need to grab sulfuric acid and graphite. And I believe we need 9 chemical plants. So this is actually going to be kind of difficult because we've got to go over or under or around this. Something. Got to do something. I wonder if we can fit through. Not quite. Can we get through here? Yes, we can! This is called threading the needle. Okay. Well, that's sulfuric acid sorted. Graphite could just go the other way. And then we can pull graphene off the bottom. Right, we're going to need you. I'm going to leave a gap there so that we can have stuff travel over by pathway if we need to. And we'll make you graphene. Okay, and that's going to output to a full Mark I belt. So I'm actually going to use a Mark I belt for this. And we'll bring it this way. And this operates fast enough that we should maybe... we could probably get by a Mark I. Here's a Mark I. 1, 2, 3. And then great thing is once these are placed, we can just copy across. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, we need 9 of these. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we want to just place them like that. Double it up. Yeah, we would need to split some of these belts. But honestly, that's easy enough. Splitting the sulfur belt is not a problem. And technically, we've actually merged a belt that we could have split. Because we've got 2 inputs here. Or we could just split it again. You know what? That's probably the easiest. Let's do this. Put them side by side. And then... I'll start it when we use a... You know, we will use a Mark I. I was about to say we'll use a Mark II, but... Save us a little bit on belt usage. And then we've got to split off the sulfur, which, again, easy enough. And then split the sulfur here. And we're actually going to use a slightly different type of splitter. that way, we can do a flyover. And then down. And that way we can pull the graphite out here. Not the graphite, the graphene out here. Damn it, why they have so similar names? I mean, obviously they have similar names because of the chemical composition, the whole thing. You know, it makes 100% sense, but it's just very frustrating. Okay, and we want to pull in, push out. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, now, because these are slightly offset, I've got to watch if there are any clashes with the center aisle. Well, it looks like there's a clash there. Something went weird. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We only need 9 of these. So in theory, that should be fine. In fact, I will place one here and then delete this one. You know what? No. This would be better. Okay, and then continue placing that sulfur belt. Oh, it looks like we have had a stacking issue here as well. The mod isn't perfect. It's damn good. And that's a graphical glitch. That should still work. Oh, no, I actually did place one there. It's just really glitched out. You know, I will just, since I am here, place that. Okay, in theory they should all work. You've had a little graphical glitch as well, but whatever. Okay, feeding these graphite again, super simple. I am actually gonna use the Mark II belt and then split it down again. I know I don't need to, but we'll grab a splitter. And then it's gonna split on the level. Okay. Boop, boop. I guess we will upgrade this. Just because the rest of it is Mark II. That's literally the only reason. And then you get power, and you get power, and you get power, and you get power. There's one there that doesn't have power. And then we have graphene. Sweet. For now, we're probably just going to put that into like a chest or something. Yeah. And then we'll just run out the chest temporarily. So just swing you round to there. And then bam. Could upgrade this belt. I'm gonna upgrade the sorter as well. Can't stop me. It means we'll drain the center so that it can add stuff a little bit easier. All right, and there we go. We have a load of graphene being made. Now, this graphene is going to be super useful because... Where's our titanium beams? Here we go. Titanium beams are also the next step. They don't actually need the graphene, but there's a few things that use titanium and graphene to make that we'll want. Specifically stuff like the interplanetary technology and all that. So this is going to need sulfuric acid, steel, and titanium. Obviously, we're going to have to fly the titanium from off-world because we've used our entire titanium supply on making yellow cubes. So that's going to be a trip. Not like I'm not used to that trip already. And what also do we need? Steel. So we need iron, sulfuric acid, and steel. Now the question is, how much do we need if we're going to make, say, a normal belt worth? Well... Really? Okay. This is actually made a smelting facility. Which is going to get interesting. We would need a full belt of steel, a full belt of titanium, and a Mark II belt of sulfur. Ooh, a Mark II belt of sulfur. I mean, we're only running over... Well, we're running over Mark II belt of sulfur, but we're using a lot of it. And we might have to set this up somewhere else. I was going to set it up, like, here, but... We're going to need iron for it anyway, so let's check. I don't think we've got many iron deposits that are completely unattended. There's this one, but obviously we're going to need a lot more iron than this. We're actually going to need 3... Oh, God, really? 3 normal belts of iron? Ugh, that's a lot of iron. Okay. I guess this is the point where we look for unattended iron deposits. I don't think there are many unattended. There's obviously 2 over here. That's pretty far away. I guess we'd end up running a line that way. That might be the only solution here. We could run a line north from them. There's also a load of coal on the way, so eventually we will want to take this place over. Yeah, I'm thinking there's 15. Okay. We're going to need a whole load of stuff for this. So, firstly, let's make ourselves a couple of long-range power transmitters. And then we're going to make a trip to our... Track farm. Hello, track farm. I will need a whole load of belts. Then here again. And then I really should automate the actual production of belts at some point. I've got a load of sulfuric acid in my inventory, which we should probably get rid of at some point. That's not helpful. That's just taking up space. And what else do we need? A lot of smelters. I think we've probably got enough on us. We'll make a few more, just in case. And since we are going to need so many belts, I'm actually going to make even more. Yeah, this definitely needs to be automated. Right. Done. You know what? I'll even carry more. You do that. So, somewhere over here, wasn't it? Yeah, it was south of this coal deposit. There we go. And we need 3 standard belts of this. A belt and a half, so simple things first. How many fill-ins do I have? I've got enough, probably. That's going to be one of our lines out. You know what? We'll use Mark II belts the entirety of this, because at some point we might want to increase the flow. And then we're going to want to just get as much out as possible again. In fact, we might even want to just smelt it on site, because there's very little point to transporting the iron ore itself. Again, it will use the same belt because it smelts at the same ratio. But there's only space savings to be had by doing it down here where we've got more area. Go on, drones. Alright. 5.5. We need to be 33, basically. Well, 32.8. Try and maximize this as best we can. Placing miners. Why are you so difficult? Gameplay reasons. I know. 18.6 is not quite what we were going for. Can I get that last one? I don't think I can. I think I can get that one. Yes! 21.5. We are still far away from what we want. Actually, we only need 18 output. That's the output rate, not the nodes. So that's more than we need. If we can get it to 24, I believe that means it is 2 full smelteries, 2 full belts. 23.7. Close enough. Obviously, with an upgrade, that'll be 2 full belts. Yeah, we will smelt it here. And what we can do is have... we'll probably need to do a matrix again and feed it in. So, easiest way... we should maybe do horizontal for this. It's gonna be 24 smelters. It's gonna be a lot. 12. It's a long row. I guess we can put the long row like here or something. Sure. Could do a vertical row. It would maybe mess up. When do we get the mess up here? And he... oh, I think we might have room. I'm gonna trial it. Oh, we need to refuel. Whoops. A lot of flying today. Okay, obviously we do need to make steel as well, but I'm not going to be smelting steel on site. 1. And then... I think that's there for the next one. No. Okay. Right. Let's place the thingamabobs. You only need the mark ones for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would like you to make iron. Copy that between the two, and then 3, 4. I'm going to then break after 4. Okay, that's 12. Yeah, we're not getting quite what I wanted here. Also, those are so broken. I think they only like pointing certain directions or something. Yeah. Oh well. You know what? I'm going to set this up east-west over here. And I'll get right back to you. Welcome to a ridiculously large smelting array. Well, it's not ridiculously large, actually. They're far larger. Anyway, it's a 2 green belt for steel. And we don't need this. We need 1.5 belts, but it will suffice. Now, this is actually making us steel. So in theory, it should actually be just the 1 Mark II belt. In theory. It shouldn't even be a full Mark II belt. It should be 1.3 recurring. Which is fine. We don't need that. I think. We only need the 1. half. Whatever. Yeah, we've got way more than we need. We need 18 skill smelters. We have 24. So yes, we're good. Right. We need to feed this. And I've actually set it up so that the 2 feeders are here. Obviously, we're going to need to do some sort of weird matrix for this as well. We've got 6 coming into 2. We don't necessarily need to matrix this. Like, we could attach 2 together and then have the other 2 feed in via matrix. That's probably the easiest way. So, bam, bam, and then you feed in there. Bam. Yes, I know the port is occupied. I'm trying to attach to it. Thank you. Bam, 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 bam. And then these 2 are going to feed in via a normal matrix setup. We'll set 1 there, 1 there. Oh, do I lack splitters? We should make more splitters. Those are important. And then bam, bam. Right, 1, 2, out. 3, 4, out. And then remember to put priority input direction, because otherwise this doesn't work. And then in. In. Alright, great. And then all we got to do, we could balance the 2. Sure, let's put a balancer in. It's not like it costs us anything. The splitter will work at the speed of whatever belt is pumping into it. Bam, 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 bam. Done. And then power. Work, my pretties, work! And because we're sending over actual, like, finished steel, we don't need, like, crazy belt shenanigans. And in theory, look at this. Ah, it comes directly out of the splitter. Oh well. We can do that. Go, my drones. And that will now go north and feed steel to everywhere else. Yep. Now, obviously, it's not running at the speed of this belt, but whatever. Let's go lay a whole load of track. Need to upgrade our drones at some point, but I can't really justify the yellow cubes at the moment. I'm storing them. Got plans. There is something definitely satisfying, though, about watching, like, this huge belt just come over the horizon. Let them do the thing. And we're basically up in the right place as well. Okay. So, back to the titanium. We need a normal belt of steel. Well, we've got a belt and a bit, or whatever. We need a belt of titanium, and we need a full belt of sulfuric acid. Now, sulfuric acid is going to be the hard one. We could just run at minimum capacity, or we could run an extra belt over. I honestly think we're going to run an extra belt over. And then this is made in a whole load of smelteries. Like 18 smelteries. And it's going to be interesting about how we get the resources to the smelteries. There might be some way to do like a braided setup, because obviously we've got 3 inputs, 1 output. Each smeltery? Well, we can't do this, can we? Not unless we're reaching over really far. How long does it take them to build each beam? Because we might just be able to reach over really far. 12 seconds. The only thing that we'll need reliably quickly is sulfur. The other ones are once every 3 seconds. So honestly, we can just run one line of these. We'll need 18 of them to get any decent speed up. We might even be able to get it in here. Let's have a look. So let's pretend this is the output line. We've left like a 1 gap. How many smelters can we get in here? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. Ah, so close. Well, technically, we could run a double-ended one. If we run 9 in a row, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, we could run that double-sided. We'd have to split the belts properly. Let's see. Yeah, we could split the steel belt, split the sulfur belt, have a single titanium belt, and this will work. So what I'm thinking is... Now I'm actually going to delete all but 1 so that we can use our mod to set this up much more easily. We'll also want to delete that. And then this can be steel. Sulfur can come in the other direction. And then what's the last component? Titanium, obviously. So that'll be sulfur. That'll be sulfur. That used to be the titanium box. Obviously, it's not going to be for much longer. But we'll put titanium coming in from here as well. And then that's going to be our output. Ooh. We're just going to be short. Right. Technically, we can actually make do by having the other belt operate faster. So if we were to upgrade that, have a single sulfur belt. That should work. Okay, so sulfur. You know what? I've got plenty of these splitters. I'm just going to use 1 for everything. I have set that up entirely wrong, haven't I? Yoink. There we go. Okay, so we've got sulfur. We've got everything else. Output. Oh, output is here. That's input. Input. Okay, and that should just be copy-pastable. So, and I'm gonna leave a gap. And another gap. We'll do the same again. Gap. Same again. Oh, this makes it so much easier. So much easier. Okay. Okay, now all we got to do is split the steel, which really easy task. Grab ourselves a splitter. Chuck it here. And there we go. Right. That's steel. Next, we need to provide it with titanium. Well, that's going to be coming out of a box anyway. And this is the titanium one. We could run the titanium from up here, but honestly, I'm just going to make a new box and we'll do it from there. You know what? I think we can actually just fit the box in like there. Yeah. Come on, drones. Where are my drones? Oh, they're down here. Okay. That's easy enough. We'll cut the rest of that off for now. This is our sulfur input. Sulfur is going to be a bit more complicated because this isn't going to be enough, but we have kind of maxed out our graphene. So in theory, this is kind of going spare. I won't split off of this line. I'll split off of this line over here. And then if we need to, we can issue a second line. So I'm actually going to leave space for a second line. And we will 1, 2, 3. Make sure there's a balancer. There we go. Bring that down. Hopefully that belt will be fast enough. If not, we'll need to do some tweaking. Maybe even upgrading the sorter inputs, which we can do. We've got the tech for the next level. Okay, all they need is titanium. They've got steel. They've got sulfuric acid. They need titanium, and then they need an output, which, again, for now, we'll just output them to a chest. We will need to combine these. You know what? We should probably put a... bridge in. Steel equally does not need to be... Come on. Going all the way. And then storage chest. Done. 1, 2, 3. Now, all this needs is titanium, which obviously means we're going to have to go do a quick titanium trip to dump stuff in here. You know what? We'll temporarily store our stuff here. Not a good idea, but whatever. And then I will need more fuel for this trip. Where have I got fuel? Hello. Hi. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back with titanium. Boom. Okay, landed obviously on the completely wrong side, as per usual. Hello. Yes, we need to go the other direction. Whee! Bam! Here is your titanium. Enjoy. Now, in theory, all I need is a Mark 1 belt of titanium. So this should eventually get to the end. It's just these take like a long time to cook anything. And here they are! Our very first beams! Oh, whoops. This is my personal storage. I should get rid of all this. There are the beams. Also, I've got lots of sulfuric acid with me, so let's just chuck that in there. Ah, solid. Let's upgrade that. And we're slowly getting through towards the end. Come on. How many titanium can you... Oh, 20. All right, you can take quite a lot of titanium, so there's going to be a one in storage. There we go. It's actually getting through to the end now. Done. Everything is operating. Sweet. And we have a load of beams coming in. Great. Well, now we have graphene and we have beams. We can start work on some of the more esoteric things like interstellar logistics. Which sadly does also require another step. Where is it? Where is it? Particle collider? No, magnetic particle trap. Here we go. Requires us to use EM turbines, copper, and graphene. Well, luckily enough, we now have some graphene. Admittedly, I don't know how we're going to pump out the damn thing. We'll figure out something. I'm sure. If we put a box on top, can we pump out the box on top? Let's check that. Maybe. Certainly seems to think that's possible. Interesting. Anyway, for now, we're going to call it here. If you've liked, please remember to like. Not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Go check out the Discord. There'll be a link. And yeah, until next time, when we're going to start working on collecting particles in our little trap, stay shiny.